Hey, Morgan, we have a question that's come in from parents, and they just feel like, man, the way you parent and the way I parent is night and day. How can they get on the same page?
Yeah, this is so common. So, I have four things I'm going to go over, and the first one is pay attention to timing. I think this applies to most sort of relationship advice when it comes to giving your partner feedback, but don't give advice in the
Mm.
moment. This is a great way to stir up defensiveness, to not have the advice very well received. And it can be helpful to even imagine there's usually one partner who kind of gives the feedback more than the other. And it can be helpful to imagine what it would be like to be on the receiving end, to be the partner who has kind of like these eyes over them watching and critiquing their parenting. So watch your timing, talk when things are going relatively well and out of the
So
moment.
make sure you're not critiquing your spouse in front of the kids when you're trying to do some
Yeah.
disciplining thing. That makes great sense. Number two is what?
It's listen to learn and not to teach. Ideally, you want to find a blend of both partners' perspectives and styles. I think that a lot of times each partner kind of comes to it with different values around what they want to instill in their children. And sometimes these look like fears, actually. Like, I don't want a spoiled child, or I don't want a child with a poor work ethic, or I want a child with who has emotional intelligence. And sometimes these things create some conflict in the parenting approaches. So, sit down, talk about it. What are the values we want to get on the same page about, and how we raise our children
Yeah,
together?
because sometimes it's the technique that's different, not necessarily the
Yeah.
values, because we both
Yes.
want this. We're just going at it from different. Okay. And number three is?
Number three is share resources if you guys are willing. Share a podcast, share a book, share one of these videos. Do something that can kind of add a bit more information to the
I
conversation.
love that because it's something that seems so obvious, but we don't always do that as parents. And
Mhm.
Loveology is actually designed beautifully for that because you watch a little video and you think, oh man, this is exactly what we were talking about a couple nights ago. And you can just forward it to your spouse and say, let's talk about this later tonight. So that's a great thing. All right. And then finally, number four.
The fourth is develop a plan. Try to talk together and decide what do you want to be on the same page about. I say it's best to be on the same page about big things, and then the other things kind of give a little bit of room for flexibility. I know there's I feel like there's triggers that certain parents have, like maybe a dad roughhousing before bedtime with the
Mhm.
kids and the mom getting a little bit annoyed. There's benefit to these things. There's research
Yeah.
that says so. So get on the same page with the big things, and then allow a little bit of space and flexibility for some personal style and approaches. So develop a plan for how you want to handle those big things, and then develop a plan for when you want to give each other feedback moving forward about changes you want to make and how you're approaching situations.
Yeah, so you're really going into this, as we might say, not flying blind, right? That we have a
Yes.
common direction that we're headed to. Four very practical things that we can do to get on the same page as parents. Morgan, thanks, as always.